Take a second. Take all the time you need to pick the right word, please.
Hey,
No one's in such a rush that you have to run through the gauntlet of not so much a creep or a weirdo as that I'm like demented or something.
I mean, yeah.
You're listening to the Makey Words podcast.
You're finding out 10 years late. What do you think about that? It's the business model. It's the business model. And we just looked at each other, horrified.
Well, Sauce, what were you saying before? It's the last night of tour?
This leg is tour.
The last leg of this leg of tour, I have one little festival to play on Saturday, and then then back home for about 10 days, I guess. Yeah.
Nice.
But tonight we are at the United Stadium or something like that. It's basically where the Bulls play.
United Center.
There we go. That's the one. Yeah. So Michael Jordan, his presence is with us. His spirit lives on.
Yeah.
Well, he's alive.
Yeah.
Well,
I bet you'll find that you've been plenty of places where Michael Jordan has been, you know?
Yep.
I guess so, yeah. True. But it feels like I'm like really in his house now, you know?
Oh.
And that's a good feeling, you're saying.
Don't hear
Competitive
To be
feeling.
in his house.
I'm a little
Like I'm in his
anxious.
home. Maybe in his bedroom.
Yeah.
Oh, can you imagine the
La la.
smell of that house?
Of his
It's probably perfect. I bet it smells great.
No.
bedroom.
It smells like cigars
Jordan's
everywhere
house?
and ashtrays everywhere, I bet.
No, he would have a room for that. Or people to clean it. One of the two.
Oh,
He'd have a
that
whole
would be
house
good.
for that. Do you want to go to my smoking neighborhood?
Ooh, smokehouse.
Let's go smoke in my neighborhood.
I bought all these houses. I kicked everybody out just so I could smoke at each one
Aren't you proud of me?
until it's gross.
You proud of me yet, Dad?
Did
I looked
anyone
at
know
some,
Michael Jordan's history? He's got a daddy thing?
Well-
Is that run with MJ's? They have dad things?
Oh,
Jeez.
Wait, what was his backstory in Space Jam? His dad just wanted him to shoot more hoops.
Let's go
I
to
don't
that
think-
one.
Yeah, I don't know that you could really call that autobiographical necessarily.
Yeah,
Oh,
wait a
the-
minute. How
the
did
Space
reality
Jam
work in Space
timeline.
Jam? Let's refer
Yeah.
to that. How did the cartoons cross over? All I got to do is get to a golf course with Bill Murray,
It's down a golf hole. I forgot about that.
isn't it? Don't they get sucked down a golf hole?
Yeah, you're right. I just haven't seen that movie
The
in
best
forever. Did
one,
they
though,
remake it?
Yes.
But they didn't remake it, right? They just
Made
is it
new
a
one.
sequel?
Yeah.
Is it supposed to be a sequel? I didn't see the new one, but is it supposed to be a continuation?
More or less.
Gotcha.
The Who Framed Roger Rabbit has the best tune entrance.
That tunnel?
The tunnel,
Is it
yeah.
the tunnel? Yeah.
Yeah. Into
Yeah.
That's all, folks. And then he comes out the other side, and it's just insanity. I don't know why this just came to mind, but have you heard about? I don't know why it just came to mind, but have you heard about how hard it was to film The Abyss?
I think any James Cameron movie is like put through. Isn't that James Cameron?
Yeah.
I think that. Well, hard in what way?
The stuff that he put the actors through, and like the scene. Well, so there was a time when Ed Harris almost drowned and died. They did like many
Ed Harris.
takes of when he rips open her shirt and is like giving her CPR and then smacks her in the face. Like many takes of that scene.
Jesus.
And she had to like say, "That's it. Like I'm not doing another one." And I think they just found one that they ended up using, but like
more than 5?
it sounded like, or at least when I was reading the article, it was something like in excess of 20 takes of him screaming at her and smacking her face while she was just supposed to be unaffected, lying there bare chested. Like, what an embarrassing, like, I don't know. I understand those directors that are like, we don't
I
have
don't.
similar
Dude,
to like
like
Motown
what's his name?
producers.
Doesn't David Fincher do like hundreds of takes or something like that? I think.
But you know
Just
how
like fucking get your shit together.
did you
Figure
see
out what
that?
you want to do, and then just let people do that, and then move on.
Did you see the Muscle Shoals documentary where it was all about that guy? He was one of the head engineers, and his thing was about getting like complete takes, and he got so many like gold records from his style of like getting complete takes. But he'll have the band in there. Like there was a shot of this older kind of, I don't remember what her name was or is, but it sounded like an awesome performance. And then he was like, all right, let's do another, let's get another. And then they played the song, again and again and again, rather than kind of piecing it together or having the backing musicians play and then you do the vocal takes and let's do another vocal take. It was everybody all at once.
Did you say that was Rick Hall?
Who? I don't know. You could say any name and be like, oh yeah, but it's just the one of the head guys from the Muscle Shoals documentary.
Also, maybe I missed something, but are you saying Ed Harris was in Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
No, Ed Harris was in The Abyss.
Oh,
if I'm remembering his name.
That's helping me a lot. I was like,
I think he was also in The Rock.
Yeah,
he was.
Nick Cage.
Oh, I've watched that movie way too many times. Way too many times. I loved that when I was a teenager.
Yeah, it's good. Well, it was good, but it's also like it's hard to. There's moments that are.
You had to love that as a kid, though. You had to see that as a kid, though, right? I was just saying to Max.
Not a child.
Not as like a teen, like a young teen, because that movie had already been out for so long. Like you didn't wait to see it till you were like 16 or 17.
There was tons of movies I wasn't allowed to see that as a kid.
I know, but when did Nick start living with you?
What?
How old were you? 13, 12?
Yeah, probably 13, 14 years old. I don't know. I don't remember. Not the exact age. Do you remember the year, Nick?
Me? Living with you?
Living with my parents. When Nick and I were kids. I don't know. I'm trying to clarify.
It'd be great if that was the detail that changed it for him.
No, living with my parents. When you came either pre or post.
Well, we're going to get nowhere down here, obviously, if Nick doesn't even remember this is a thing that happened. So
when you stayed,
irrelevant.
Sorry, not
but
living with, but stayed with my parents for an elongated.
No, you were there for a while. He was there for a while, and he would come and go too, right? Like, wouldn't he spend some time there and then go away?
I didn't live there. I didn't live there, but I would stay for like a weekend because it was a fun spot.
When you were down there often.
Yeah.
When you were down at my parents' office.
I remember, my memory of it is Sean telling me that you were basically like living there for a while.
No. I would come often because I would hang out with them and then also hang out with Max and kind of go over.
Rub off.
Kind of
rub off on them.
Whatever stuff I need in terms of yeah.
I found The Rock on my own. Well, not on my own. I remember watching.
We're talking about the movie The Rock, not the
show. I know.
Right
after he said run.
I found The Rock on my own. That's plentiful in Marietta.
Have you guys seen Ready Player One?
Did what?
We already talk about it? Ready Player One?
I'm guessing if we did, it would have been years ago that we talked about it. Not on this.
I read the book. I really liked the book. I thought the movie was fun.
Lily and Charlie absolutely love it, but I was amazed with the amount of characters that they had shown, like Battletoads and like everything. It seemed like no Marvel characters, but DC and all kinds of video game characters. It was just really wild to see that, and just to imagine like licensing all of the rights to that.
Well, the reason why they picked a lot of those was because it was free. What's it called? Public domain. It's been out for so many years. The characters. That's why they're all retro. In the book, there's modern like video game and comic book characters, but they had to cut those out in the movie because it was cheaper to get the older ones. Cheaper and or free. Batman. Sure. So they pump the budget for a couple characters that
Gotcha.
modern audiences would recognize, but for the most part, they just got the. And it was very impressive how much shit they were able to pack in to that. Every little frame has an Easter egg of some retro. That was when South Park started to do the member berries. Remember that? Remember this?
I remember.
Remember
Long
Battletoads?
since I've seen all of that.
They're still making them.
Sauce, were your eyes closed, Sauce? Oh yeah, they were. What were you just looking straight down?
No, I was just reading a text.
Where are you at? Where are you at the what's
me.
another
Looks like
famous
he's in a
are you at the
jumpsuit.
Coliseum right now?
Is it Chicago?
It's in his private
Oh.
jet.
Chicago,
Yeah.
dude. Fucking dog.
Does that bus have
Okay.
seatbelts in the back lounge?
Yo, I am drinking the craziest flavor of LaCroix.
Haven't seen that. Is it good or is it just weird?
You talking about my seatbelts? I don't know. I guess.
Well,
No, fucking weird, dude. I don't know what it is. I don't like it at all. Dude, I would never drink. So fucking weird.
that's good to know. No.
Sauce, what's been the best catering
Yeah.
you've had?
Oh.
Dude, I keep forgetting what it's. Well,
Oh God!
so fucking weird. It's
Dude,
so-
your service is crazy.
strange. I can't explain.
We can't explain it either.
I'm sure it is.
You were just speaking while taking a drink. It was kind of amazing.
Damn it!
Oh, I'm sorry I asked. I'm so sorry for addressing you. What if you turn off your camera? Do you have enough bandwidth to tell us about the best catering you've had?
He's got
And go.
mid exhale too, with the little smoke coming out.
Well, they might be like,
That's pretty great.
you know, in and or under the stadium, so I can imagine service may not be amazing, I
Why
guess.
couldn't
but
he
I
have
don't
just been at dinner so he could be walking on the street right now with some service? Sauce,
don't
get out
know.
of there. Go take it to the street. Sauce on the street. Sauce on the go. Sauce to go. There we go. I got there. Sauce to go.
All right.
All right. Well,
Oh man, I'm so mad.
have you guys heard of the Lite phone? LITE phone?
No.
I kind of want to get one. They're like, what do they call it?
Constantly illuminated.
No. They call it like it's the same shit that the Kindle has, like ink screen or ink paper screen, whatever the fuck it's called. But the
Oh,
really
shit.
low light screen, and it's super simple. It does all the things you want a phone to do, but it's black and white, and it's got the touch screen, so you can do maps, you can do podcasts, music, and texting and phone calls and emails, and then that's pretty much it. And it's all just on like it almost looks like we're downgrading back to a Palm Pilot.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I'm stoked. It's like the size of a credit card. I've been trying to think of how to not spend so much time playing chess online. Like every time I sit on a toilet, I bring up my phone to just play chess.
Oh, chess online. Look, you might
That's
be
the
playing chess
problem you're trying to
online,
solve?
Okay, chess.
Yeah.
Also just
But it's the first
yeah,
time I think. I don't know if anyone else here remembers Max being a chess enthusiast, but I would say most of the games I've seen you play were not chess, and they're crazy as fuck.
I stopped
is-
having time to play
Mega
like
Man.
video games, and then both the consoles broke, and then so I didn't have anything, and then Jake got way into chess and asked me if I played chess, and I said no, and so him and I started playing, and so it's just been like this.
I'm
weird-
not saying I don't believe you played chess.
No, I
I'm
never
just
did. My
saying.
entire life, I never did. I never
you
was
saying-
into it.
Wait, when is this recently? Jake was like, "Do you want to play chess?"
This was like 3 or 4 months ago, And then,
Okay.
and that was right around the time my consoles had broken. And I tried to get into some mobile games, but I don't like, even like the ported NES or PS1 games on the iPhone. I just don't like playing them. They're kind of cumbersome and weird. But he got into chess, so that's been like fulfilling my video game shit in my head. And I hate that I've become addicted to it, because now I deleted all the news apps. I deleted Reddit. Just been trying to not have as much screen time, but I still chess. If I look at my screen time, it's like, oh, you had whatever 1.5 hours today on your phone, and like 50 minutes of that is fucking chess. It's so upsetting. So, anyways,
It
this
seems like,
phone,
I don't know if anyone else feels this way. It feels like he's just flexing about how much chess he plays.
I kind of
No,
agree with this.
I'm really bad at it. I'm really
Guys,
bad at it.
I've played so much chess lately.
Also, the irony of having a black and white screen is that chess is famously in black and white. I don't know that
but
you
there's
can't
no
play
games
chess.
on it. There's no games. There's no games. And then the things that you want to have on it, you have to preload on it, which I kind of like. Because then you're not
How is
just
the backlight? Because I could see getting a terrible text in the middle of the night while I'm out in the dark, which I do, and not being
just
able
look it
to
up.
see
It's
that
called Light
text.
Phone.
It never gets service anywhere.
No,
I don't know what
you
this
can.
means, but the first place they're selling it, the first thing that came up was sponsored ads for the Light Phone from a place called Dumb Wireless.
Oh, the first
That's
thing when
not
I
really
search
helping it
is
out.
just thelightphone.com.
No,
But
that's
maybe it's because I
there.
have.
That's there. That's the first website.
Oh, I do see Dumb Wireless. Yeah.
But the first ad is by Dumb Wireless.
And it's more expensive on Dumb Wireless than it is actually ordering it from the website.
They
How
gotta make
crazy
their
is
money,
that?
That's
man. Come on.
dumb.
Well, they're really
Maybe
That is
that's
pretty
their
dumb.
business model.
All right. Well, it seems like a shitty
It does
product.
look pretty
Whatever.
cool.
I had heard of it, and I thought it might be.
Wait,
a
what
cool
did people say
way
about it?
That it's just sort of like it does enough things that it doesn't make you not want to check it often. It still.
I think
gives
that's
you,
a separate issue. I think the inclination to constantly be checking on a device is a separate issue once you have it from what the device actually does.
But
I think you'll find yourself just starting text messages.
just self-control.
I have none.
Well, I know, me either, but I think that
I have none. So I try to fit my life around things that limit my ability to overindulge on things, I guess. I don't know. But either way, I thought it was an interesting thing. I haven't done too much research, but I don't know.
product
In the same way that I
sounds pretty
kind of
cool.
wanted a Cybertruck, and then the Cybertruck came out, and I'm like, fucking glad I didn't get a Cybertruck, you know?
did you have the option for
I put the
$150,000?
$150 into it. The I don't know if you remember, this was
That's all you
fucking
need, man.
years and years ago. No, it was when it was back ordered and before they even made the first one, or they made the prototype or whatever. And then
Are you going to say? Do we remember you putting the money down on the truck?
yeah, because
we all
I was
remember that.
yeah
I
okay.
do not.
I remember you talking about it.
Yeah,
It was in the
very
back of the
vocal about it.
van. It was in the-
I'm
I
doing it.
fucking
I'm
want
doing
this
it now.
shit. No, I'm
Yeah.
glad I didn't do it. And I never got that reimbursed. I hadn't thought about it till right now. I wonder how you get that reimbursed.
You
Or-
can sell off the reservation.
but there's no
Probably
more
actually got that.
reservations. I would imagine. Like they just make
There's
them.
still reservations. There's definitely reservations.
Oh, so I'm just
They're
still
only-
waiting for my number to be called. I will take a Cybertruck.
Well, you do have to pay for it, though.
Nah, I
You
don't
gotta
want
buy
to pay
it.
for it.
Wait, you would take a Cybertruck?
No, I
I
just
thought
really
this whole
want a truck.
thing, the Cybertruck,
just
started
really
with
want a
you
truck.
being like, "I'm glad I dodged the bullet of the Cybertruck," and now you're like, "Oh shit, I can still get."
Yeah, I changed my mind halfway through that. But now
I
I've changed my
Actually
mind
want a
back
Cybertruck,
again.
though, right?
No, not actually. I just really want a truck. I'm trying
What
to
about
make
like
this.
a smaller profile truck? Do you want something that's a little more robust?
Sauce, come on, this is your
Yeah,
chance.
Sauce knows the truck. What truck is it,
A
Sauce?
small footprint
Oh,
truck.
dude.
Come on.
Do I have a moment to talk to you about our Lord and Savior, Toyota Tacoma?
Yeah, Benji's had a Tacoma for forever, and he's been trying to sell me on getting a Tacoma. But
I think they're a little narrow.
Dude, be Tacoma buddies with Benji. Benji
the problem,
buddies, Tacoma buddies.
the problem with Benji's Tacoma is you can't fit a sheet of drywall in it.
Mine gets drywall. Yeah. I got the full size bed.
Yeah,
So,
bitch.
you know,
But
Stuck on
the
that.
thing
lot
I've been
of
thinking about up
flexing in this
here,
call today. A lot of flexing.
a lot of people
Yeah.
up here, which I kind of
Eat
get
your heart
now.
out.
Like I was wondering why all the contractors and shit up here have vans, and it's just the weather. So I'm thinking what I
And
want
it's
to
just because they're all creeps. All of them.
They are all creeps. I'm trying to be a creep. I'm trying to creep more.
Cool.
So
In
get a
lieu of
Ford
the screen
Brush
time.
up on my creep game.
You get a
Yeah.
transit, dude.
Get a
I've been
stanza
feeling
wagon.
creep.
Yeah, get a stanza wagon.
You've been feeling like a creep?
Yeah.
What moments of your day do you feel like a creep? What's happening? What happens and then you're like, I'm a creep.
It's more not that I'm a creep, just that I'm a weirdo. No, fuck. That's
Yeah, I've
dumb.
heard this song. I think I know
yeah.
this song.
No, it's like I find
What the hell are you
myself-
doing here? You don't belong
Exactly.
Take a
I-
second. Take all the time you need to pick the right word, please.
Hey,
No one's in such a rush that you have to run through the gauntlet of not so much a creep or a weirdo as that I'm like demented or something.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you
No,
feel
I
like
just-
you're a Crumb illustration.
A Crumb illustration. What's that?
Crumb, what's his first name?
I know the
forget.
band Crumb.
I
I'm just
forget.
thinking of Crumb from
Robert
Mario Monsters
Crumb?
for some reason.
I forget.
Robert Crow.
I forget
know.
his first name.
I'm just
They said
reading the
Robert
chat.
in the
Anyways.
chat. Yeah.
Jason.
What makes you feel like a creep?
I don't know. It's just like not creep is the wrong
Unburden
word.
yourself, man. Unburden yourself. Unburden yourself.
It's more just like you never find yourself like standing in a line or a queue or whatever the fuck at like a grocery store or wherever you're at, and you're just looking at people and you're just like
While you're looking
kind
at
of
people, what thoughts are going through
I'm
your head?
such a creep. That's what he's
No,
thinking
it's-
while he looks at.
no, it's more like I find myself
Oh.
staring at these people and coming up with whole like reasons for their conversation that they're having and backstories and all this shit. And then I find myself like I'm just this is what I'm doing. This is what they see is just
Now, what you're describing sounds vaguely like people watching, but there's one component in it that I feel
I
like
stare.
might tip this into the creepy category, which is you said like making up reasons for their conversation, backstory for their conversation. Does this mean you're
I'm listening.
to their
I'm
conversation?
listening.
Okay, yeah.
Are you guys not
that's
listening
not
to
people watching.
everyone's conversations happening
I
around
try
you
not to
all
listen
of
to
the time?
anything. Ever.
I don't.
Oh
I
my
don't
God.
even have
I get
enough
invested.
energy for my own life. Let anyone else's life is an inconvenience. Don't tell me anything about you.
But
we'll
they're
get
not
along
telling me. They're
great.
talking to each other, and there's something about
I'm
being
aware
able
of
to
You
this.
have
have a
actively
window into
interjected.
Yeah. No, but
No,
I'm
no,
not
you
talking to
weren't
them.
invited. That's the thing,
not
Max. It's
talking
not a
to
window.
them.
You opened a door.
When
Oh, you're
people
saying you-
sing the song, "You Are Who the Song," I always feel like somebody's watching me is about. Do you realize this?
It's about me. I'm
When
always
people
watching
have
you.
this feeling of like, somebody's like, I don't know, I got eyes on me.
It's me.
Hold on,
That's
though.
you.
I'm
I
there
do
just.
have another idea though.
That's your ilk.
Is what you just said though? Is that you are actually in the conversation, or you were saying that in the way that like you?
No.
put
I
yourself
listen.
there? Okay.
I just listen. You guys never do that? Like the fucking
No.
booth sitting behind you at a. If you're, do you guys go?
I
out to
don't
eat
There's
wanna
a
alone?
hear
difference
people.
between being inconvenienced by somebody talking too loud.
I'm not
or
inconvenienced
What you
by it.
described, which is
I'm like
That's
into
standing
it.
mouth agape. Yeah,
That's
no,
the problem.
No,
That's the problem.
I am a creep.
It could be though. It could.
I think
be
you're nosy, maybe.
I
Yeah.
think that you
Curious. Let's call it
maybe
curious.
I don't think
are
that's
creep
fair.
curious.
I'm
I don't- I
creepy.
don't-
I'm creepy curious. Yeah, that's
I
how
think-
I identify.
I think curious has a certain positive connotation that like alludes to like
Cats can be
wonderment.
creepy.
Sure.
Cats are definitely
guess.
creepy. They look at you while they lick their balls.
They're definitely curious.
Yeah.
That's
How
cat
do they-
curious.
Oh, I guess they kind of do. Yeah. Trying to.
They do the thing
figure
with the
out
leg over their head.
Don't mimic it.
Yeah. And don't be
mimic it
jealous
for
either.
us.
No.
Yeah. Use your leg if you want to mimic it.
I can't. Also, sorry about last week, y'all. I thought I had talked about it, and then I went through our text, and I was like, "Oh fuck, I talked to Phil about it." That's literally it. That was totally my bad. I just had to get out, but
Nice.
had a good time.
You have a good time?
Yeah, I found a fuckload of fat wood that I took home.
Oh, hell
which
yeah.
was awesome.
Fat wood?
Yeah.
Or resin wood.
Tell me.
Basically, when a tree dies throughout all of its limbs, it pushes out all of its sap, which dries and becomes resin or whatever. And it's like the best little fire starting tool. Also smells really nice.
Shave a little bit off. It's basically like a candle wick. It just stays lit.
I had fun. You want to see my campsite? I got nothing else to talk about.
Yeah, let's see it. Show us the campsite. And you didn't even nearly hatchet your hand apart, so that's good.
And I was at the same campsite with the same hatchet.
You were testing fate.
I really was.
Hell yeah.
And then I don't know if you can see the river in the background, but
yeah,
this is the river that I was on.
Nice.
Went out, fly fished a bit, shot my bow a bit, which I haven't shot since Nora was born. That was really fun.
How did you use an app to, well, I know you know that spot now, but did you originally use an app to find it?
No.
And then you embellish and say how you found it.
Oh. This spot was shown to me. That one was shown to me. Other ones I've found, and you kind of look on a map and you look at the fire access roads and shit, and then you do a little bit of, I don't know, exploring, drive a car up the road, see how far it goes up, find spots you could turn around if it gets too hairy. This is kind of funny too. I learned this years ago. And I was asking a local, like, hey, do you think there's fish up there? And they go, there's fish in every fucking lake. I go, how do you know that? They go once a year, they stock we've got probably 200 lakes up here on the peninsula. Plains, like the kind of plains that have the cargo bays that open up.
Yeah.
They're filled with water. They just drop fish.
Yeah, I've seen that.
These fucking lakes. I've never heard of that. Isn't that fucking nuts? They just go and they sweep the lake and they go, here's a new population of fish. And then they go scoop up more fish. And then they drop them into all these lakes. So they're all stocked. I've made the mistake of taking my time getting there and then trying to set up camp with like a fucking headlamp on. It sucks because it gets dark as fuck in those woods.
Even right now?
Yeah, dude, it was pitch black where I was. But you can see, what's crazy too is, so you're under this canopy, this whatever they call it. Everything where you're at is dark. Like, it's hard to see things in front of you, but you look up at the sky and the sky is like bright. And especially when you look off to where the sun is setting, it's all bright, but I have so much canopy overhead that it's not allowing the light to shine through. So I can go walk like not even 40 feet out to where the light is shining through the trees, and there's like pockets of light all the way up until like 9 p.m. But where my tent and shit was situated, because the fucking bugs, dude, oh my god, the caddis are hatching right now, and they're just fucking, that sucked.
Have you tried bringing a thermocell out with you? The little little pad that gives off smoke. You have this little thing.
Oh, I just make big fucking fires. I just make giant fires. It's like, I like to make my fires with a fucking ferro rod. I also have lighters in my car. Like, I don't need to do it. It's just the thing that when I do it, I go, oh fuck, I did a thing. It's just it's a fun hobbyist thing. I don't know. Exactly. I could also pack out firewood to these places. I could pack out fucking a bunch of shit and make my life easier, but that's kind of not for me the purpose. But
what would you say the purpose is?
To convince myself that I'm able of doing things that I'm afraid to do otherwise. It's about like, hey, this is really scary. And then you do the thing and then you go, it's not actually that scary. And then every time you kind of build up a new thing that you go, well, it could kind of get a little hairy and scary. And then you do it and you go, it's actually not that bad.
What would you say is the scary part?
For me, nighttime. Every little fucking movement, every little thing. I was parked next, or not parked. I had my tent next to this tree, and there was some little critter living in the tree, probably just a little like field mouse or squirrel or something. But every time they'd rub up against my tent, I'd wake up and just like, fuck, turn the headlight on and go and check around and make sure there's not anything crazy. And I got my bear can and all that shit. Like that's the scariest part for me. And I depending on the kind of night and the kind of mood that I'm in, I can get over it, but it's something that I've been trying to get over, is just the fear of total darkness. And I bring my headlamp and I bring candles and I bring things that, like, if I get too afraid, then I light those things, and it's like, but then I feel like a dingus. It's like, well, now you're not doing the fucking thing, man. Now you're cheating.
I don't think that's cheating.
No, it's not, but
if what your goal is to face complete darkness, then any light is cheating.
Exactly.
But
yeah, that's what I mean.
It's an interesting goal to work out this way, but I mean, it seems to be working for you.
I don't know that it is.
Well, there might
You're
be a
enjoying
reason
it,
for that.
if nothing
I'm
else.
saying you're enjoying what you're doing.
I hadn't been able to go out.
I can tell you, you can, if you're worried about things in the night, you could just stand out in my driveway.
Yeah.
And some of the shit that happens is terrifying.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I've grown pretty friendly with bats.
What do you mean?
As
like
in
you communicate
the
with them?
community
Or?
now like accepts you, or
No,
or
I was always
less afraid of bats.
I was always kind of a little terrified of bats.
Uh-huh.
And now I like, at least the bats that we have, because they're not like biter bats, you know, they mostly just eat. Enemy of my enemy is my friend, and they eat all the fucking bugs and mosquitoes. So I fucking love them for that. I used to get scared, like I'd be out fishing, and then as soon as the sun kind of starts going down, there's just hundreds of them flying over your head, and I'd be like, fuck, and leave. And then I caught one time on accident. I was throwing out a fly and they ate my fly, and I kind of, you don't reel with a fly, but I pulled him in, and I had to grab the bat, you know, to get the hook out of his mouth. And then I was like grabbing the bat, and I took the hook out of his mouth, and then I let him go, expecting him to fly away. And he just sort of hung on to me with the little like claw wing thing, their little hands, the weird little wing hands. And he was just sort of sitting there and looking at me for a minute, and then
He only knows that you took the hook out.
Yeah,
And
and
then
then
know that you got it in.
and then he flew off, and then then I started to get a little used to, for whatever reason, that like broke the ice between me and the bats, and then I got a little more used to them being around, and then them just like, because I don't know why they do this. I have no reasoning why, but they'll just like bounce into you. It's like a fun game for them to do. If you're standing there long enough and casting, they'll just fly into you and just kind of like bounce off you.
Well,
And
they
it
don't
used to
see that
bug
well,
me.
Max.
Yeah, that's probably why. But I do think
What do you mean
they've got
by
a
bounce
good.
off of you though. Like, do they? What it sounds like you're saying is that these bats fly into you and then like giggle away as they scurry off.
No,
If
no,
they
no,
hit
no,
you,
no, no.
they presumably fall into the water and then have to like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
how do
they
hit you.
They hit me and then they kind of
See what I'm
like
saying?
they'll like squirrel. Hold on 1 second. What the fuck?
It's bats. It's bats.
I was just gonna say the same thing. What,
Guys,
What's happening?
Let's go.
What's going on?
This- We've been talking about this shit for way too long. You could just close your eyes if you're afraid of the dark. That's one way
of confronting the dark.
Confronting the dark is just close your eyes.
Or blindfold yourself if you don't trust your own eyes like that, you know?
Yeah. I mean, dude, we got closets, we got eyelids, we got blinders, we got bandanas.
Yeah, like you could just like camping. That's okay.
You want to get, yeah, just say it. Yeah, I don't really have a point. I just like to feel, like we've already touched on this. He just likes to feel rugged. He likes rugged things. That's why a person with a lighter would choose to light a fire with a flint or something like that. It's because it's rugged. That's okay.
Absolutely.
You got bats?
Yeah, you all right? What happened?
Sorry.
What happened to you?
You got bats?
I got bats. I got bats in my garage. Either way, sorry, we don't even have to go back to it. But the bats, it's not like it might not be a playful thing. I have no idea. But they just kind of bounce into you and then they'll like spiral off and get their flight pattern back. But I grew more accustomed with that. And now it's gotten to the point where it's like, I kind of enjoy the company of bats.
Yeah,
At least these bats. These river bats.
All right.
I don't like well bats. I don't like Batman's bats, but these river bats they're actually kind of sweet and they're kind of cute.
You're just not accustomed to wells.
It's not my position to talk about like outside people coming to spots, but I will say since COVID, the amount of just like tourist refuse on all the trails is fucking disgusting. Like spots that used to kind of just be these nice little pretty spots, it's like fucking beer cans crushed and you know, people not shitting right. You know, people just shit like right next to the fucking trail. It's like, no, you're supposed to go off, dig a fucking
Sounds
hole.
like they shit right.
Not
Just
shitting right.
Yeah. Sounds like they just shit in the wrong place. But
Shit in the wrong place.
Sounds like they completed the mission.
Like actual like literal shitty toilet paper just like floating around in bushes and stuff, and it's like, fuck you guys, dude. 2 like contractor bags of garbage. Here's a fucking paper bag, here's a thing, here's a like even just like soft drink cups. Like why did you bring a soda all the way up into the woods? At least in that version, you know, in like a fast food cup
with a drive-through soda.
Exactly. Like how the fuck did this end up here?
I think you'll find that most people are trashy. I think you'll find that.
Most people in Port Angeles or just most people?
I think most people
are trashy.
Yeah.
Trashy is the human baseline. That's it. Why not?
It is interesting to like, not that I encounter it a lot, but when you see people litter, it's like,
who the fuck
are you doing? Like,
Yeah,
what is this?
What ownership do you claim over this land? That you're like, this is also my trash can. This is my trash can now.
I can be a piece of shit in cities and like flick cigarette butts and stuff, and I should probably fix that about me.
I could throw trash around a backstage room for sure.
Yeah,
I'll throw my picks everywhere. And
but like when you're in nature,
I'll spit on anything. But when I'm out in the public, no, I'm not spitting there.
I saw a mama raccoon with 2 little raccoons on her back.
Oh.
Sure, it's not tumors.
No,
Sure,
they were climbing up, and then
Yeah,
one of
tumors.
them. Wow, this was crazy. I didn't know that they. I mean, I don't know anything, so I learned in this just watching it. The mama's vertical climbing up a tree. The babies are on the back. One of the babies flipped over and was like cradling sideways, like its feet were on its back and its hands were on the mama's tummy, and it just started feeding as the mom was like climbing up the tree. That was fucking nuts. It's springtime, so like the waterfowl that we get here with the white stripes, there was a mama. I'll send you guys the video. There was a mama there with these 2 little baby ducklings, and they were trying to, it was like she was trying to teach them how to swim up the river, and then one of the little baby ducklings would get caught in a current and like whoa, just fall back like 30 feet, and she would take the other little duckling in tow. They'd go back, pick up the other duckling, and start back at the beginning, and for hours they were doing this. Like I'd go off and do something else, and
But
then
they
come
don't have
back and they'd be, huh?
I mean, that is just what their life is.
Yeah, but it's
You know
I
what I
don't
mean?
know. I enjoy watching it. I
But do you
suppose.
think
Oh,
they
for
were
sure.
Actually
For sure.
trying to
I
make
just
some
mean, like-
progress, and the mom just had to keep going back for this one.
No, because they
stuff that
had.
just couldn't do
I'll
it.
send you the video. They have this little like
got
nice
it.
safe alcove that didn't get any current, and they would go back there and like recuperate, and then they would go right back out, and like the mama would go and get whatever caddis hatches or little tiny fish. I can't remember what the fuck they're called. She would do it, and you'd watch the mama for a little while, and then she would get like too much in her mouth, and then go back to the alcove, kind of let them out, and then the little ducklings would go and eat it. But then she was like, "Okay, we got to go back out into this shit," and it was just
This-
crazy.
For some reason, all tracks for me to you calling yourself a creep and just listening to everyone's conversations. Like you were just watching a single mother try to raise a family, just making up all kinds of stories about how much she
Yeah.
can and can't eat, where her kids can and can't swim.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I have I don't know what that means about me. I have a lack of originality. I need to
What?
take things from
No, it might be in
outside.
abundance. You need to create a narrative for everything around you.
Yeah, I do think that might
too
be a
much
part of it.
original.
It's the question, why? You know, why is there wind? What's the
Yeah.
point of wind? That's why.
I forgot about that whole conversation.
I don't have any stories. Okay, we're done. I'll see
Bye-bye.
you guys soon. Everyone have a good night.
And we just looked at each other, horrified.
Makey Words.
They know. My time has come. The algorithm knows. We have fun, okay? We have fun.